So there are three main reasons on why seasons occur. One, because of the tilt of the axis.
2. Direct sunlight.
And three, revolution. The Earth is tilted on its axis. So when it's tilted like this, the northern hemisphere is closer to the sun. So that means it's summer on the northern hemisphere. When it is tilted like this, the southern hemisphere is now closer to the sun, which means that it is summer in the southern hemisphere. But since the sunlight doesn't reach the northern hemisphere as much in this position, it is winter on the northern hemisphere. And when it is somewhat even, it's spring in the northern hemisphere, but it's also fall in the southern hemisphere because they're both getting the same amount of sunlight. And it's also opposite when it's like this. It's fall in the northern hemisphere, and it's spring in the southern hemisphere.
The seasons depend on how the sunlight hits the earth directly. So, for example, when the earth is towards, when the northern hemisphere is towards the sun, there's more sunlight hitting the northern hemisphere with a higher concentration of energy. So most of its energy, at least, is focused up here. But there's less energy focused down here, which is less concentration of energy in a larger area, therefore causing a colder part in the southern hemisphere, but a warmer part in the northern hemisphere. Similarly, when it's summer in the southern hemisphere, there is more sunlight directed, there's a higher concentration of sunlight energy focused on the southern hemisphere, but less on the northern hemisphere. And during the equinox, it's equal and right in the equator.
And the last reason why there are seasons is because of revolution. Revolution is the Earth revolving around the sun, or orbiting around the sun. So when the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, there's more sunlight coming here and less sunlight onto the southern hemisphere. And when it's revolving here, it becomes like this, and that is when the sunlight is equal in all parts of the earth. So when it's revolving over here, it becomes summer in the southern hemisphere because it's tilted towards the sun, and it becomes winter in the northern hemisphere because less sunlight is getting towards northern hemisphere. And then it comes here where it is again another equinox, so the amount of sunlight hitting the earth is the same for both, which is why day and night are the same on the equinoxes. And then it comes back here where again it is summer in the northern hemisphere and winter in the southern hemisphere. And it keeps on going like this for the rest of the year, forever.
In conclusion, seasons depend on tilt of axes, direct sunlight, and revolution. Thank you for watching.